Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. Welcome back yet again everybody. We've got another full and thorough review of a fragrance that I'm 100% sure a lot of y'all really want to know about. Now before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe guys, okay? So your subscription, your likes, your views really does contribute to the channel, and the more you guys watch the videos and comment and like the videos, I mean, it makes me go aggressive with procuring more samples, more fragrances about what you guys want to hear about, and immediately putting them up right there on the internet. Now, also, if you're not aware, I do have a new playlist on some short videos that I've made on my first sniff on a lot of these fragrances. I would say 99% my first sniff usually does correlate with the thorough review of the video. So if you haven't checked that out, please do as well. Now today we are going to talk about a fragrance that comes from a really popular niche house that I think a lot of their fragrances are shrouded in mystery, and that's called Fragrance du Bois, guys. Okay, so Fragrance du Bois, a lot of you guys know from Sahara Oud and New York Intense, New York Oud, Parisian. A lot of their fragrances are well known within the niche crowd, but I think that on the general sphere of things, a lot of people find their fragrances really mysterious. Now they do offer a bunch of sample packs. I've seen a lot of them, and I think that if you are really curious about them, you should definitely take advantage of those sample packs. Now this one right here, this fragrance, I think this is a long time coming, because this fragrance is on the grail fragrance type end of Fragrance du Bois. Their fragrances are not cheap, and I think that if you are on the $100 to $200 budget right here, you might find that Fragrance du Bois fragrances are already expensive, but this one right here is on the over 600 range. It's on the more higher end of that spectrum right here. So of course I didn't go blind, and I don't suggest you guys go blind. I got a sample of this right here. This is Heritage by Fragrance du Bois, and this one right here, like I said, is on the higher end of the spectrum, guys. Okay, so because of that, I was highly curious to try this fragrance and find out what this is really about. And because it's called Heritage, I mean, just by the name, it was very, very mysterious. Like I was just like, okay, expensive, Heritage, this must be on super luxe, super luxury. So anyways, here we are right here. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, Fragrance du Bois Heritage, guys. So there's a reason why I really didn't do like a first sniff video on this fragrance, because almost immediately once I smelled this fragrance, I kind of knew what I was gonna say, because Fragrance du Bois Heritage does remind me of a few fragrances that I already have reviewed or I already have owned. On the first blast, you are gonna get a lot of soapy aldehydes, guys. Okay, a lot of soapy aldehydes, and it's coupled with a low-key bergamot right here. Okay, and that's really most of the opening part of Fragrance du Bois Heritage. Soapy aldehydes, clean aldehydes with bergamot to sort of bring it down, okay? Because as we know, aldehydes, they give us this like heavenly, fresh, clean feel, and it really takes us, like in my opinion, to another place, another dimension, more of like a hypnotic type of scent with these aldehydes. And I think that the bergamot right here kind of keeps it more on the ground, keeps it practical in my opinion, and I think that this combination is really great. However, once I smelled this, I was just like, man, this is like something I've already smelled. And the first thing that I could think of was Roja, and I thought about Roja. I was like, man, was it Haute Luxe? Was it RDH P15? Was it Chypre Extraordinaire? It's one of them. It's one of those upper class, upper tier Rojas. True enough, guys, once I did my research, I found out that Fragrance du Bois Heritage, the opening salvo is exactly the same as Chypre Extraordinaire by Roja Parfum. So it's exactly the same. It's aldehydes and bergamot. Also, the fragrance that I've reviewed before, RDH P15, has aldehydes with bergamot as well. but it's fused with other citruses. But nevertheless, it's still a blast of aldehydes and bergamot. I was just like, man, this is definitely like one of those upper tier rosias. And back in the day, guys, a lot of people from Fragcom took shots at Fragrance du Bois for having bottles that looked like Roja bottles. But then when I actually tried some FDB fragrances, I found out that they're actually not copying Roja at all. Like, they don't have like direct counterparts of Roja fragrances, like with Sahara Oud, that's a non-Roja. If you look at New York Intense or even the new one, London Spice, like it's not directly linked to Roja. It's not like they're copying Roja. But I think in this one, maybe they did. Maybe they did because they were probably looking for an upper tier, upper echelon, super expensive perfume to put in their collection right here. And they probably took a page off of Chypre Extraordinaire, Haute Luxe, any of those big Roja ones that are like $1,000 and up to put in their $600 or so fragrance. Now the aldehydes and bergamot really last for maybe like an hour and a half, and then we go into the mid, guys. And in the mid, I could describe the mid as really continuing this heavenly type smell. Okay, so if you like that aldehydic smell that really makes you feel uplifting and clean and nice and heavenly, the mid of Fragrance du Bois Heritage just continues the trend, guys. And the big note right here on the mid is going to be your orris or iris, guys. There's going to be some creamy iris that takes over from the aldehydes, takes the soapiness into creamy, buttery, powdery land with some hints of violet right here from the iris. And then you're also going to have some incense. Okay, so it does make sense, right? Incense and iris provides this really heavenly vibe that continues from the soapy aldehydes that you will get from Fragrance du Bois Heritage. You're also going to get some floral notes like jasmine in the background. And I think that there's also a floral note here that probably smells like lily of the valley, sort of like white floral notes here in the background. Now, again, this fragrance really will remind you of another fragrance, and this one actually I own a full bottle of. The mid of Fragrance du Bois Heritage reminds me strongly of Amouage Goldman. Amouage Goldman right here. And as you can see, I have a full bottle right here that I barely use. This is rumored to be Vladimir Putin's perfume right here, Goldman. And I will say that this one right here, Goldman, when I smell Goldman, it's not that I think about Vladimir Putin, but I think of someone that puts himself or herself on a different level. Somebody that says, hey, I'm on a different class. This is my scent. With that generous dose of buttery iris, that swirling incense, as well as the jasmine flowers and probably lily of the valley right here, that Goldman type smell. I think that this part actually portrays a higher level of luxury, a higher level of class and luxury. So who set this up? Definitely not me, guys. Okay, so this is upper echelon luxury defined by Fragrance du Bois and probably Roja and probably Amouage. So I mean, definitely in my opinion, this smell right here, for me, I mean, my personal definition is that it's different. It actually just shows that you're of a different class. The different notes, the combination of the notes with the soapy aldehydes in the beginning really does portray you as something different. Now, whether or not that's luxury, that's up to you guys. So definitely, I would say try the fragrance and see if this coincides with what you think luxury is. Only you guys can truly define that part. However, like I said, Roja, Amouage, Fragrance du Bois, they probably have a lot of knowledge regarding French, Italian, European style perfumes, even from back in the day. So maybe this is what they think is upper echelon luxury. Now on the base notes, guys, I know that you guys are curious because you see that there's an oud note, but right here on the base of Fragrance du Bois Heritage, the most dominant note will be sandalwood. Okay, it's gonna be creamy sandalwood here in the base that truly dominates. And like I told you guys before, this is sort of like a heavenly feel. In the marketing of Fragrance du Bois Heritage, they call it hypnotic. And that definitely makes sense, guys, because you have, like I said, from the aldehydes, it goes into incense, it goes into iris, and then now you've got creamy sandalwood. I think that this fragrance will actually keep you in an uplifting state. Now I know that a big question that you guys have right here is going to be the oud, okay? So the oud here really is a low-key player, okay? Because really it's sort of like a dark woody note, at least the oud part right here. And because you have a huge dose of sandalwood, you do have some cedar wood as well, plus the oud, I mean, ultimately you're going to get a nice woody dry down. Like that's generally what you're gonna get. There is no oud that really pops out and disrupts the whole base notes part of this fragrance. And there's also going to be vanilla, which will only add slight sweetness to this dry down. But then again, like I told you, from start to end, the sensation is uplifting, nice, heavenly, hypnotic. Now, if there's anything to really look out for with this fragrance, is that these upper echelon like Roja fragrances, like without a doubt, there is what they call the old man smell. I mean, it's the Roja smell. Like Roja is not a young guy, so you know he has this, you know, preference of fragrances that really go with his personality, his persona, his character. Now with this fragrance as well, Fragrance du Bois Heritage, you are also gonna get that old man smell, that old man upper echelon Roja smell, Haute Luxe, Chypre Extraordinaire. You're gonna get it as well here. So if you're looking for a fragrance that's more practical in use, a fragrance that's more youthful, you're definitely not gonna get it here with Heritage. But of course you knew that the moment you saw the price point, right? Now everything sounds so fine and dandy when it comes to this perfume, I agree. But of course there is going to be an Achilles heel. There is going to be a part of this fragrance that I really disagree on. And you know, it just blows my mind how this fragrance is priced this high for its performance, okay? So the performance of this fragrance is kind of sus, guys, okay? So when I spray this fragrance, and as you can tell right now as I'm wearing it, I did like 4 or 5 sprays. I've killed this sample. I've oversprayed to really make sure that the data that some of y'all are giving me is going to match, and sadly I would say that that is actually true. This fragrance sadly does not have good performance, guys. And what am I talking about right here? This fragrance has really a significant scent for only 4 hours max, and I'm already being generous. I'm already overspraying. I'm being generous. 4 hours max of a significant scent. A lot of y'all are reporting 2 to 3. That makes sense as well because I did overspray on this one. This fragrance, when you spray it, it does have a nice aura scent bubble, okay? And immediately from the beginning, my assessment was like, this was more for me. This is more for the wearer. But then again, there are a lot of fragrances that are soapy, like some of the Rojas, there's some Chanels, there's also Pico Valladama, which I like, that do have a stronger sillage projection and longevity. No joke, guys, the sillage part of it will probably last an hour and a half. By the second hour, you guys are wondering why there's a drastic drop in that sillage, and you can really feel that once you're wearing Fragrance du Bois Heritage. On the second and third hour, it really goes from like, just imagine like 4 feet, 3 feet to like 2 feet to 1 feet. And it's almost just now a lingering scent just for you. And although that's great, I mean, I don't think that that's worth paying $600. If I'm gonna pay $600 and up, please give me better performance, because this is definitely not it. The performance of Heritage goes down to almost nothing past that 4-hour mark. And the thing is, past that, okay, it's not that it dies or it turns into a super skin scent, it just goes in and out. You're gonna get whiffs of the sandalwood, whiffs of the incense, basically the mid to base notes, really past the 4-hour mark, guys, okay? Just whiffs of it. And I'm telling you guys, if I had a burger right as I was wearing Fragrance du Bois Heritage, which I won't because it's an upper class type fragrance, the smell of the burger, I guarantee you, will defeat the smell of Fragrance du Bois Heritage. So I would say that this is for someone that really just wants to wear this fragrance for themselves, and I wouldn't bank on other people really catching on it. I would say that it's an intimate scent. If I would wear this, this would be like on a date or somewhere where I'm actually close to somebody for them to smell me, because if I'm buying this one expecting a lot of people to smell me, like a huge sillage bomb or a scent trail, I'll tell you that ain't happening. So that, I would say, is the Achilles heel of this fragrance. Yes, Chypre Extraordinaire RDHP 15, they are more expensive by a mile, by double almost. But then again, their performances don't suck like this. Like this one is really 4 hours. That's really it. Test this on your skin. I know that a lot of y'all have different skin chemistries, so please try it on your skin first before you buy a whole bottle just because it's like the graily one of Fragrance du Bois. I think that it is unisex, okay? I would first and foremost recommend it for guys, but then again, I think that women can wear this as well. But again, if you're thinking of something youthful, this really ain't it. This is more mature. This is more like upper echelon. Again, based on these perfumers, based on these perfume brands, okay? So my suggestion is try first. Get one of those Fragrance du Bois sample packs or get a sample of Fragrance du Bois Heritage before you go buying, okay? Try this one first. All right, so that is it. That is my review on Fragrance du Bois Heritage. What do you guys think of this perfume? I know that some of y'all had tried it. I know that some of y'all have bought it and blind bought it. Please let me know on the comments below if my findings really correlate to yours. I would love to see and hear your opinion, guys. Okay, so make sure you comment below, guys. And if there's a fragrance from Fragrance du Bois that you guys want me to try and review, please let me know in the comments below. And again, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Your support really does help the channel, and of course that helps me procure more of these fragrances for review. Okay, so until then, this is Troy D. Have a great week ahead. I'll see you soon.